What up? And say it one more time. What up again? It's your boy Royal G. I'm coming at you with a Royal Rant. It's been a long time. This time to rave. It's time to talk. Time to chant. So, guess what? I just watched that movie Interstellar. I know it came out like 2 years ago, but fuck you. I just finally watched it. And so, I was like, this movie's awesome. Yet, there was parts that were like, hold the fuck up. There was a couple times where I had to keep telling myself, like, remember, Royal, it's a movie. Disclaimer, okay? But at the same time, there's a couple times where I was telling myself, this is like some real shit, and it's like based off of real shit that NASA like did and shit, and this is the government's way of telling us what the fuck happened through movies and films and different ways of forms of media and advertisements. They tell us different little government secrets and things that are happening, but I don't know, that could just be a conspiracy type theory. But I was thinking certain things like that while I was watching the movie and gathering certain scientific information that may or may not have been confirmed. Also, during this duration doing during during the duration of this movie, I thought to myself a couple of times. They sent that chick up there into space. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I'm about to give out a lot of fucking spoiler alerts or whatever. And if you have seen it, then awesome. You can have the same and or different opinions from me and be angry and or happy with what I'm about to say next. By the way, I'm not a sexist or any of these things. Random disclaimer. But what I'm about to say next is this. There's a couple times where in this movie, right, because, they sent like 4 guys into space with 1 girl, right? And apparently they're supposed to be trying to save the human race and trying to find these other planets through some black hole or something, right? But I was thinking, right, because at one point the girl tries to make or the woman scientist, I'm sorry, but she tries to make some decisions and some things try to go down. And she's talking about following her heart and love and blah, 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 and all these types of things. And a couple of things that were going on. And there was a couple of parts where she got a little emotional and she caused the death of one of the other astronauts, mind you, okay? And also right? There was point in time where I thought to myself, Matthew McConaughey should have been like, look, bitch, I hope you realize that there's, 3 guys now on this ship. And I hope you realize that we were sent into deep space pretty much to find a planet, land on it, and repopulate. Guess what? You're the only vagina on this ship. So shut the fuck up and sit in the back because you're only here to get a train ran on you to repopulate the earth. Thank you. Anyway, and then so it was a couple parts other than that pissed me off too, right? Another part that pissed me off, I was like, okay, these people are supposed to be geniuses. They're supposed to be scientists. Okay, great, right? Why is it that you have all this time floating through space to try to think of all these possible situations, and also before you even get there, think of all these different little possible situations and what the fucks that could happen, right? And calculating different scenarios and things. Guess what? They didn't start calculating shit till they were literally like hovering in front of this black hole. And then the second time they were like, oh yeah, let's think of some shit real quick and probably figure out what could be even down here on this so-called planet and or surface or whatever, right? How about we like think of some ideas? But no, they keep doing this shit like right before they land on stuff. They have months at a time. They even disclose this in the movie. If you pay attention, they give away time signatures and certain shit. Technically, 127 years passes during the duration of this movie. Earth years. But anyway, so also, so they're just explaining how to bend time and fabric and space and all these things, and basically try to make it seem as if there's not aliens, but aliens technically are us, but it's more like in a ghost form because we technically bend gravity or some shit like that through the understanding of time and space, but it also has to be linked through love, because somehow when this guy falls into a black hole, he injects himself into a fucking black hole, but the only moment in time and space or anything that he can see is what's happening in his daughter's room. What kind of fucking creepy shit is that? Right? You don't see the entire fucking world. You got 2 kids, bro. You only even see your son. You only see your fucking daughter and what the fuck she's doing. Your son was a farmer. He was trying to do some shit. He's providing, alright? He's providing for the fucking world too. They keep burning his crops or doing some dumb shit. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with his shit during out the movie. But some stuff's happening with the guy's son. Matthew McConaughey. What the fuck was up with that, bro? So anyway. So then instead of, and then also, right, so he ejects himself through space in something. He's trapped in some space-time continuum thing, I guess, for 120 something years or some odd shit, but somehow didn't starve to death and or run out of oxygen, but he's floating behind some fucking time-space continuum bookcase, but he's like stuck in some weird black hole all at the same time. That really just seems like some extra extreme DMT trip that I had a couple of years ago, where I just had like cross waves with this Egyptian guy who was also laying down doing DMT at the exact same time inside of a pyramid, and then we all cross times and space, but we experienced each other's space and time at different times, yet at the same time. But in this movie, this guy just fucking experiences his daughter's room and all these different times she walks in and out of her room playing with this fucking ghost thing. Not even like, and then, you know, in reality, this is the reality of what really would happen then. One, he just kind of like fell into some weird hellhole thing, right? Where you're stuck in something where you're watching your daughter masturbate and shit all the fucking time and then get fucked in her room because daddy's been gone in space for the last 20 fucking years. So she's been fucking every other guy that comes across to her and gives her a little bit of manly attention, you little dick. Do you realize what the fuck the reality of that movie really was? The reality of that movie was everyone on Earth was fucked. This dude went into space, starved to death. That one bitch that was supposed to get a train ran on her ejected herself into space too somewhere and did some weird shit. Robots actually land somewhere and find the superior race and then get taken over, and they think that there's a fucking technological race of beings somewhere made out of robots or something, and the first contact with aliens is actually made by with robots and shit, and then humans die on some planet somewhere that got covered in fucking dust apparently. I don't know what the fuck was going on. They fucked up the planet in this movie and there's dust everywhere or some shit, and then everyone's got a cough. Everyone's coughing, so we need to leave the planet, and then you send some dude into a fucking black hole, and then he like doesn't get compressed or crushed, and his ship doesn't get crushed or compressed, and then somehow he's able to fall into some crazy ass DMT trip and save the whole fucking planet, and then they somehow end up orbiting Saturn, and then it still doesn't seem like they actually save all of Earth. First of all, one, they only saved this dude's family and probably some baseball team, because they fucking, the first thing he sees is some people playing fucking baseball. I told you I'm gonna give away spoiler alerts. I told you. Yeah, this is about that movie Interstellar, motherfucker. I'm talking about you, Matthew McConaughey. By the way, then this nigga Matt Damon shows the fuck up. And this is the other thing, okay? So they sent 3 different motherfuckers to 3 different planets that could possibly inhabit space or habit Earth or habit life like Earth, right? One, there's just NASA scientists and they don't think like fucking like trippy stoner kids or something. You're out there looking for shit that looks like Earth-like shit. You have to realize you're going to land on a planet. Shit's operating on frequencies and things that you may not understand, and things are going to be happening, and there might be shit there that you just can't even perceive. These motherfuckers land on a planet that is apparently completely made out of water or some shit, but the shit gets shallow every like 10 fucking seconds and turns into a fucking 300-foot wave that comes at your ass. This bitch gets out the ship thinking, oh, there's some mountains. Bitch, look at this shit. You're on another fucking planet. Stop thinking shit's gonna be like fucking Earth. You think you're gonna look around and see some regular ass birds chirping and shit, flying around and eating stuff? You better watch your fucking neck. Protect your neck, Wu-Tang Clan. Cause these motherfuckers is nothing to fuck with. They about to come through and fuck you up like them shits from Pitch Black, motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? If you don't like the language, turn something else. I don't say what the fuck I must say. So anyway, and man, this shit gets motherfucking wild, right? So then I'm like, okay, so then this is the other thing they didn't take into consideration. So this is what I was talking about. Yes, I talk very fast. Now keep up. Now, I was saying, they sent 3 different astronauts apparently to 3 different planets, okay, that was through this black hole. Now, they get to one of them. One of them happens to have Matt Damon on this motherfucker, right? Now, you didn't take into... Now, by the way, I didn't tell you this. When they were on the other planet, apparently every hour that they're on that planet is 7 years on Earth, the planets. This is how all this time fucking passes, right? So then they finally jump off of that planet and go to another planet, and Matt Damon's there. I don't know how they do all of this on one tank of gas, especially because gas is expensive as fuck, and I imagine space gas is even more expensive. Yeah, I'm debunking your movie right now, NASA. By the way, I got something for your ass. How is it that we can lose fucking cell phone reception and GPS signals and shit with cell phone towers and satellites and all this shit orbiting the Earth and all that, and you expect me that expect me to believe that y'all are sending signals to shit that are like billions and billions of light years away and shit, and getting shit back and getting receiving and sending and really getting shit back, and then like shit's coming back either instantaneous or within years, or we're even actually receiving shit back at all. You expect me to believe that, but we can't even. But I get cell phone drop calls. I get drop calls on cell phones. Now back to what I was saying. That was for you, NASA. Back to what I was saying. The real NASA. Back to what I was saying. So, 3 niggas to 3 planets, right? Now, when they jump over to this other planet, they didn't take into consideration that this nigga Matt Damon has probably been sitting on this planet jerking off by himself, doing God knows what the fuck for the last 33 years by the time they land on him. If you do the subconscious math that they display within the movie, it's actually 33 years because that's the, you know, shit involved, okay? Don't worry about it. Anyway, so now, these motherfuckers land over there. Matt Damon wakes up from his little sarcophagus, little jump, right? And he's like, oh my God, I finally met people. And I was like, so I paused the movie at that exact actually I paused the movie right when they were standing over the little coffin thing about to wake this guy up. I was like, they didn't take into consideration this dude's about to be weird as fuck. You got to think about it. He's been going in and out of cryostasis, sleep and shit for years. You don't know how. One, they've only calculated the time for how long or how fast time passes on that previous planet, right? And that was an hour for 7 years for every hour on Earth years, right? That was just that planet. And they didn't figure that out till literally they're about to land on the shit, right? So obviously they don't even know how much time actually passed on the second planet they were on. Therefore, this dude probably was on that planet for like 30 or something odd fucking Earth, 40, 50 odd Earth years or some shit, right? Sitting up here on this planet thinking he's been up here for like a couple months or some odd shit or some other shit, but this nigga's been up there going fucking nuts, by the way. So, they wake up Matt Damon tries to pull some crazy, like, I'm gonna steal your shit. I don't know what the fuck. Once again, one of those movies where I was like, or at one of those moments I was like, oh yeah, this is a movie. Somebody wrote this shit. There's things that are supposed to happen in a certain way because somebody wrote it and it's supposed to happen that way. But basically, there's a couple times where I thought they were going to get into some simulation theory shit because they were trying to, this robot tried to make it sound like they were talking to some other beings or some other wavy shit or some other shit. But really, it turns out that's how we look when we transmit messages through time. We look like little weird waves because we're bending gravity in order to send messages back. Now, apparently, through bending time and space, you can send messages apparently through Morse code and or through binary disclosed by this movie. And then also time and space and all this other things are like bended and folded and bended in like these weird ways to where you can poke a hole and then come through the other side, and then you do some shit where you're like this, and then you can save the planet by going like that. And then apparently if you poke a couple of books and shit like this for like 127 years while you're in space, they learn apparently on Earth how to cryogenically freeze everyone long enough to fucking everyone stops choking from the dust or some shit, or cryogenically at least freeze a few select people and then like send them on to some fucking experiment orbiting Saturn for somewhere. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, Matthew McConaughey is like going off to save the fucking Batman chick because apparently she's still alive. I don't know how the fuck they did this shit, but I was like, man, there's just a couple parts where I was happy and sad. But at the same time, that broad is still about to get a train run on her. They just didn't show that at the end of the movie, but they're still about to blow that puss cake out just to repopulate because AKA they're still trying to find life and all this other shit, and they only have so much time. So there's going to probably be like some weird Interstellar 2 or Trippy 3 or fucking just smoke some DMT 4, hi kitty cat, and then like there's gonna just be all kind of crazy shit going on. But yeah, man, that was that. That was fucking my royal rant on Interstellar. And that's what I like to talk about today. Yeah, that was my project. I hope you liked it. La la la. No, I'm not really about to end the video like that. Alright, but yeah, I'm really covered in cats right now. I'm surrounded in pussy. Say hi. Say bye. Say hello. Say something. Say meow. Meow. You know, if I had a spinny chair, I would have spun around and told you about how I feel about this movie while I had a bubble pipe and this cat in my lap in my hand. opinions. Because when I hold a cat and speak, it makes me make a valid point. Especially because I was saying things like, that bitch in that movie should have got to the back of the fucking ship and never opened her fucking mouth because people died because of her. Also, I was thinking to myself, maybe that movie Interstellar was also telling the story of that guy who just got back from space, like literally like a couple months ago, who apparently was in space for like 2 years. Yeah, bullshit. Because he came back looking a little weird. And so he was either that guy that Matt Damon was, or he was that Matthew McConaughey guy. But he came back looking just a little weird. Look it up. Some dude just got back from space. He spent a bunch of time in space and a bunch of shit. They showed him on Snapchat and shit. They gave him a little accolade. Guess who they sent to see this nigga? The fucking vice president's wife or some shit. They sent like Joe Biden's wife. What's her name? Like Jill or some shit. I don't know. I didn't even know that dude was married. I thought he was gay or something because they do the whole gay marriage thing and all that. So I thought he was down with that gravy train or something. Nothing wrong with that. But nah, fucking some dude just got back from space. So I was like, yo, motherfuckers. I think they're telling his story. I think this is what really happened with all that shit because that dude looked fucking weird. And also, there's a bunch of weird shit going on. And I'm not going to talk about what it is or what it ain't. But, I said enough already. So just enjoy the video. And or if you haven't seen the movie or if you have seen the movie, go watch it, comment, and then let me know what the fuck is up. Because your comments could be stellar about Interstellar. Ain't that right, kitty cat? All right. And on that note, we're out this bitch, the Royal Rant. Because she told you what it is and what it ain't. But it is what it is. And we're going to do what we can't. Bow.